Well, one good is, yeah, man. Welcome back to your girl kitchen. Today is an authentic day. Yes. I am going to be making some Gizzadas, Jamaican Gizzada. So, as you can see here, my goodies, I have some ingredients. I'm going to go over with you. We're gonna make the crust, and then we're going to be making the filling. So goodies, I have some flour. I have 4 cups of flour, and you want to make sure that your flour is coming from the fridge. All of your ingredients them for the crust needs to be cold. So as you can see, I have some butter here, nice and cold. I have some shortening, nice and cold, and I have ice cold water for to knead my dough. So I'm just going to put the flour in this pan, and this is where we are going to make the magic happen in preparing our dough. You know what? I'm not going to be using my hands today to make the dough because I'm wearing some nails. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my stand mixer, but I'm going to let you know how to do it. So what you're going to do, you're going to add the flour, and then you're going to add your butter. So just cut up your butter nice and cold, and then you're going to add the butter. You want to work fast because you don't want the butter to be melted, and that's why everything needs to be cold. Even your pan needs to be cold. Alright, so we're not going to add the shortening yet. So what you can do, my goodies, I'll leave the full ingredients in the description. But what you can do now is that you're going to use your hands. Basically, you're going to use your hands like this and rub in the butter into the flour, just like this. For an example, rub it in, break it up until I have like a breadcrumb consistency. Okay, just continue breaking up the flour and the butter, mixing them together, break it up until I have a breadcrumb consistency. Now for anyone who's using the stand mixer, I'm going to transfer all of this to the stand mixer, and I'm going to start on low. Okay, so I'll show you that. Alright goodies, so when it's that consistency, I'm going to go in with my salt, and I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt, and I use ½ pound of butter with 4 cups of flour. You don't want to use self-rising flour, but you can use all-purpose flour, but bear in mind it is better to use a flour that does not rise, because you don't want your crust to rise. I did not add the shortening because there was no need for it. I had enough butter, but if you needed a little bit more moisture to the flour, then you could add probably like 2 tablespoons of the shortening. So I'm just gonna mix the salt in, and then we're going to add our cold water gradually because I don't want to make it too sticky. Okay, goodies, so I'm gonna continue adding my the cold water until I have the consistency. I'll show you the consistency that you need to have. Okay, so when it reaches like this, now we're gonna remove it from the mixer, and we're gonna just make a round ball. You don't want to overwork the dough, so we're not gonna knead it out too much. Okay. All right, goodies. So we're just gonna dust the surface with some cold flour. Everything cold, remember. Some cold flour, and we're going to transfer now our dough to the counter, nice clean counter, and we're just gonna create, remember we don't want to overwork this, so we're just gonna make this into a nice round ball, and we're gonna put it in some cling wrap, and we are going to put it back into the fridge for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until you're ready to use the dough, because we're gonna make the filling and you don't want things to start melting, so we're gonna put it back into the fridge. So just make a nice round ball. Alright, goodies, so cling wrap, and we're gonna put our dough into the fridge for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna start on our filling. Alright, goodies, so to make the filling, I have some shredded coconut here. You can grate your own coconut. You would need 2 large coconuts for this recipe. But if you're getting the shredded coconut, get the unsweetened coconut, because we're going to add the sugar. So I have my cinnamon powder, nutmeg, cloves, ground cloves. I have some vanilla, rose water, and because these coconuts are shredded and dehydrated, I am basically going to hydrate it back with my coconut milk. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put a pot on the stove. I'm going to add our coconut milk, and I'm going to add some water with the brown sugar, the spices, and stir that up, and then we're going to add our coconut. So I'll let you see the process. So I added the coconut milk. I used 1 tin of coconut milk. I'm using a tablespoon of vanilla essence. If you're using the vanilla extract, then you need to just use half, because it is thicker and stronger. Half tablespoon of rose water, and you can add some almond essence or almond extract if you have the almond. And I'm going in with just half teaspoon of ground cloves, half teaspoon, and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. So now, goodies, I'm going to add the brown sugar. And this depends on how sweet you want your filling to be. You can add 1 cup of sugar, it's your choice, or you can add 1.5 cups of sugar. Depends on how sweet you want it. I've added some water. I'm just gonna allow this to boil for about a minute, and then now we're gonna add our coconut, shredded coconut, or your grated coconut. Okay, goodies, so I added like 5 cups of my coconut, and I'm just going to allow this now to cook until like there's little to no juice left in there. But I want to allow it to cook a little bit, because the coconut, remember I used the coconut, the shredded coconut, and not the actual grated whole coconut, so it was a little bit dehydrated. So that's why I added the coconut milk to, like, you know, bring it back to life and get it softened. So you can see the filling is looking amazing, and it will look even better when the water start dry down. I'll show you when to turn off the stove. Okay, goodies, so while our filling is getting ready, we're going to go ahead now and start making our cups to put the filling in. Okay, goodies, so dust your surface, take out your flour, and kind of just flatten it out a little bit. And you're gonna take your rolling pin and you're gonna roll this out. Depends on if you like your cups thick or if you like them thin. You roll them to the thickness that you like, but I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm going to make mine. Okay, goodies, so this is my thickness that I'm working with. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out some round circles for my cup. I'm using this bowl right here. That's the size that I need. You can make them smaller, bigger, it doesn't matter, your choice. So I'm gonna start cutting out, and then I'm gonna do it off camera, and I'm gonna come back and show you. Okay, so I've done cut out, so I'm going to remove them now, and the pieces that you have left, you can roll these back up, knead it back and roll it back out and get some more from it. Love them, and what I do, I kind of like flatten it a little bit, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pinch around the sides. So that's what they call it, pinch around, pinch me around. So I'm going to pinch around the sides. So I'm going to use my index finger to pinch, and I'm going to show you. You use your index finger and you put it like half inch to an inch, and you pinch, make sure it's closed, and you're just going to go right around with your index finger just like this and pinch. Go around with your index finger, half inch, and pinch. Okay. Let me make sure that you're seeing this. So half inch of index finger and pinch. Okay, make sure it's closing. So you're gonna pinch it right around like that. Half inch of index finger and pinch. Alright, so your cups supposed to look something like this. Okay, and then you're gonna use a fork and you're gonna prick it because you don't want it to rise. So this will prevent it from rising, so just prick up in the middle, and we're gonna do all of them like that, all of them. Okay, so good is when you're filling, just a little bit of juice like this leave, you want to turn off the heat. So I'm turning off the heat, and I'm putting my cups on a baking sheet. Maybe I have a nicer one than mine, but mine has been through the storm. So I'm putting them on a baking sheet, and you want to preheat your oven at 350 or 400 degrees. So we're gonna pre-bake these, break them a little bit to get them hardened, and then we're gonna fill them with our filling, and we're gonna bake again. Okay, so we're gonna finish up everything off camera, and then we start to fill them. All right, goodies. So the first set of cups, I still have 3 more that I'm gonna put on a different baking sheet. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven and let them harden up a little bit, just a little bit, and then we're gonna come and fill them. Okay. Okay, goodies. So I went ahead and I stuffed or filled my cups with the filling. I did brush the outside of my cups with some milk. You can use coconut milk, almond milk, or cow's milk, just to give it a little bit of color. Now we're going to put it back for about 10 minutes into the oven. Okay. All right, goodies, so this is the final result. Looking good, tasting good. Let me know if you will be trying this recipe out. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think about the recipe. I made a little cup one, just like a cupcake. You can try out that method as well. You just put the dough into the cupcake holder, cupcake mold, and then you stuff it. So this is the final result, my goodies. Until next time, walk good and may the good Lord bless you.